I love how we're all quiet before.
3PO, I've had a great streak. I've had this great streak of having great intros.
Oh man,
this isn't the Senate. well, folks, it's that time of the month again.
whoa!
And the time of the month has come a little bit early, so we can discuss Captain Marvel, Rotten Tomatoes, and all of these crazy shenanigans that have been going on recently. And I'd like to start introducing the panel. First and foremost, we have the Minister of Propaganda himself, Shellback, a.k.a. Hallmark Channel Jeremy. And he's muted.
Greetings. No, I was pulling up the YouTube page.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yes, I'm doubling today as a turtle instead of
What?
Yeah, that's his. It seems like he got the Popeye treatment.
That's my Shellback avatar.
Nice.
Yeah,
and also we have the Secretary of Energy, Health, and Fitness, Jeremy Simmons, also known as Prime Geek Collective. Did I say that correctly?
It's collectors, but sorry.
Oh, it's collective.
No, collectors.
Oh, okay. All right, let me go change that. I gotta edit the description.
This is starting off real well, man.
Yeah.
just butcher the crap out of it proper.
This isn't very proper.
All right. I saved it in the description. I changed it. Well, Simmons, what is up, my friend?
Nothing much, man. Kathy Kennedy said she wanted to lose weight, but apparently she didn't understand that anorexic it's not a weight goal.
Wow. This just keeps getting better and better.
I'm telling you.
Hey, Simmons, by the way,
who is pounding on their keyboard?
Simmons.
Knock it off, you weirdo.
Yeah. Please don't do that, or else I'm gonna have to mute you.
This is a no fap situation. Okay, come on.
Anyways, we also have.
Sorry, man. I was bouncing my laptop on my.
We also have the wonderful, voluptuous Jeremy here with us, also known as Mary V.
Hey guys, what's up?
Okay then, and our special guest is probably ironically the most sober one here, Drunk 3PO. What's up, man?
Sober. Oh,
I said sober.
Wow. I'm doing well. Man, I'm honored to be special. And special today special. I will be. So thank you so much.
You are very special indeed. And you just had a video upload today.
Yes, I did.
Yes, it was about Captain Marvel. The three of us I know of, 3PO, Voluptuous Jeremy, and myself have all seen Captain Marvel in theaters. And I gotta say, Simmons, Hallmark, did either of you get a chance to see it? Did you hear about the spoilers or?
I've heard all the. Yeah, I thank you, so I don't have to see it. Yes.
Yeah, no problem. Willing to bite the bullet for you. And Simmons.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know the cues of who to talk first. I was so fun with that.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, dude, my forum posted the 4chan article that everybody did on the spoilers on the movie, so I was able to read that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
continuity issues bothered the hell out of me. So.
Oh yeah. Speaking of continuity issues, Mary, I'd like to start with you, Chris. What were your thoughts on the movie?
So I actually I did 2 reviews. I did a non-spoiler sort of my trip to see Captain Marvel, and then I did a spoiler review. And I genuinely hated this movie. First of all, there are points that actually break the universe in it for me. There's a lot of man-hating that goes on. And if anything is cringe to me, it is that feminist garbage that gets sprinkled throughout this film. And I cannot stand it because I have had more interactions with men than I can possibly count, and they do not behave the way that this movie depicts it. So it's an incredibly infuriating movie for me. It's I guess I'll be very careful with my words here because I don't want to spoil anything, obviously, but I was relatively annoyed the entire movie, and I legitimately left pissed off because of the final end credit scene, because I was like, I waited for that. That's disgusting. So yeah, I was legitimately very irritated at this film.
Yikes.
Wow. So 3PO, what were your initial thoughts?
When I first walked into the theater, it was me and 6 other people, and we were the only ones in the theater. It was Saturday night, 8:30, and that was a little disturbing. And but obviously a lot of people saw it because the money it's making. And then I think maybe 5 other people showed up, but I was actually kind of bored. There was no wow factor. There was no like, okay, I get it. And I really wish they would have like developed the character so we understood who Captain Marvel is. She's not really a known character. It's not Iron Man, not Spider-Man, not Thor. Like, people know those characters that don't have to read comics or anything like that. So going into it, it was just kind of like, no, like, who is this person? And it just seemed like there was a lot of talking, and that was it. Like, it just stretched.
Yeah.
Like, I was in like an hour. I was checking my watch. I think I could be wrong. It was like an hour, 20 minutes, and nothing really's happened. You know, she's just kind of walking around with Samuel Jackson, just looking for stuff, and like, that's it. Like, not they're just running from people, and then that's it. So, and then the ending, the climatic fight that was supposed to happen was just kind of. And sorry if I ruin it for some. I'm not giving out spoilers, but it was just weird because she just kind of like looks at everyone and they just go, "Well, let's just leave," and they just left. And you're just kind of like, "What? That's it? Yeah, that's it."
Yeah, it's kind of anticlimactic, I gotta say.
So her whole like the whole purpose of her movie was to save refugees, and then but they weren't in the comic books. The Skrulls are not really refugees. They're like really bad people, but I guess they just wanted to go that direction. So,
I mean, I like the idea. I like what they were trying to do, but I think the way they went about it wasn't exactly the way that I would have wanted that to happen. I mean, granted, I'm not the most well versed in the MCU, but I do know that they were supposed to be the bad guys, you know, throughout a lot of the film. So it was just kind of confusing to me. So I mean, I guess it made more sense to me than it would like somebody who's a diehard MCU fan, has seen all the movies and knows all the details. But yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with you on on most of what you said. I mean, it just it seemed very slow paced. I felt a little lightheaded at in the middle of it. I just was so bored. I just did not.
Yeah, slow pace. That's better. It was like slow. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, like the first 30 minutes, I was just like, okay, let's. This is boring. I want Sam Jackson just to appear already. Can we get him on? Can we get the bad mofo on, please?
And no one calls him Nicholas.
Speaking of Sam Jackson, when I heard about how he lost his eye, I'm like, you got to be effing kidding me.
By the way, just before we go any further, I just want to give a spoiler alert to anybody who's in the chat who wants to wants it not to be ruined. There's your warning in advance. We'll be talking about those in just a few minutes. But first, I'd like to get Hallmark Channel, Jeremy, if you'd like to elaborate on your thoughts of what you've heard of the film. I know you didn't see it, but we saw it, so you didn't have to. So I just wanted to get some of your general thoughts about how people perceive the film and what your interpretation is.
Well, I mean, I'll start out with hearing, I've heard what Mary's had to say, and then I saw a little bit of Odin, and Mary was talking about how there was at least a an instance or two where she was getting her butt kicked. I guess during training, you know, like military training or something.
Yeah.
But Odin was saying that, you know, like she was, you know, basically like a Mary Sue and didn't have any setbacks or, you know, real setbacks or whatever. So I don't, you know, I guess that's a little up for a little interpretation, but I mean, you know, but like the Nick Fury thing, when I heard about how he loses his eye, you know, and then you think back to was it the first Avengers movie where he's like, you know, the last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye. You know,
I don't remember which movie that was.
But you know, anyway, it's like, you know, they took from the sounds of it, they took a good moment like that, you know, a good storyline, and just freaking castrated it, basically, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's the emasculation of male characters to elevate female characters that really bothered me about this film, along with a lot of other films that have been coming out recently. Like you had The Last Jedi, you had Ghostbusters 2016, just to name a couple. Movies that outraged both fans and critics alike in different ways. Critics, as in like not like the main critics, but like for The Last Jedi, but like probably for Ghostbusters. But you know, it's just kind of just the fan reactions and the filmmakers making excuses and calling people names. You know, that's already happened with this movie. It happened before it even came out. I mean, at least with The Last Jedi and Ghostbusters, they waited until after the movie, after the movies to attack fans. But they just were right out the get-go. Were like, you know, especially like Brie Larson in particular, and it was just kind of disappointing to see because I don't remember her behaving like this before.
Another thing too is like, you know, like when she was in the military and stuff, and something was said about you know, the guys were giving her a hard time, and you know, like, oh, you know, you're a girl, blah blah, this and that, and you know, being misogynistic, toxic males. Being a military veteran, everyone gets that. Everyone, okay. You know, I mean, if you're, you know, if you want to be a dainty snowflake of a person, do not join the military. Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, honestly, so I spent about 10 years as a military spouse, right? The level of ripping on one another that they do, the level of bull crap, toxic stuff that they say to each other all of the time is like completely and utterly ever present. It is not just women. In fact, if anything, they're more careful with their words around women than they are around men. The men treat each other like absolute garbage. They talk to each other like they're dog crap. So the notion that they mistreated a woman or that they talked down to a woman in any way that was any different than they've ever treated anyone else is ridiculous. It's just stupid.
You know, and I'm not saying that it never happens in the military, but at the same time, you know, it's like, you know, and while I was in, you know, it started the climate of, you know, a softer, gentler, you know, military, you know, started to take hold, you know, and it's like, you know, like there for a while, you were like walking around on eggshells when it came to dealing with females in the military, because, you know, if they just didn't like the look of you, they could be like, oh, well, you know, he said this to me or he did that, you know, and, you know, basically like a false, you know, false sexual harassment allegations and stuff like that, you know, but which kind of I don't know if that.
I will
really-
say this: the line that they used in the movie, and I'm just gonna share it. Whatever it was, to me, it was so stupid that if I heard my friends talking that way to somebody, I'd probably punch them in the face because it was like I wouldn't even be. The guy was like, "Hey, sweetheart, there's a reason why they call it a cockpit."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Can you give me a
Oh.
break? Like, we don't talk that way. Like, that is the. You got a group of writers? Can you write something a little better?"
Yep.
You know, and like that's the memory she keeps having that makes her mad. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That line, like of all things, like I get it. There's jerks out there that say dumb stuff all the time, but that was just dumb. I'm sorry, that was just bad.
No, it was actually, it pissed me off quite a bit because I 34 years walking around on this planet, I've never had a guy talk to me that way ever. I do not understand why they thought that was normal, something that just comes out of someone's mouth when they're talking to a female. It doesn't happen.
You know why they call it a cockpit, don't you? I mean, oh my god, I sat there like, really, like that.
It's like
What?
clearly you've never had somebody catcall you for real before. Otherwise,
Right?
you would probably understand what it was like. You know, like a whistle or something. That's one thing, but like nobody's that stupid. It's like unless they're like a real asshole, which I'm sure exists.
But usually they say worse stuff like that. I mean, like that was just dumb, and the other one was dumb too. Hey, baby, give me a smile.
Yeah, complete
like what
cringe.
is that?
I don't know. It seemed like I don't know. Do you think they added that in because of what they people were saying in the first Captain Marvel trailer, or do you think that it was already in there and then it's just exactly it just happened to be the same thing, the same criticism happened to just be coincidental?
Well, she took his motorcycle as a result of it, so I tend to think it was already in there because that motorcycle was how she got around, right? So she had to have an excuse. She really needed an excuse to jack his motorcycle. It's astounding to me that that's the excuse you have for stealing something that doesn't belong to you. No. There's a good role model for little girls.
Right, yeah,
hey, you don't like the conversation you just had with a guy? Grand Theft Auto is stuff. Why not? Like, are you?
Yeah. It's just like justifying, poor behavior. Like, hey, if there's like a toxic male who catcalls you and then leaves their bike, you can. It is okay to jack it, and that's not something that you want to. That's not the best example that you want to set for young girls or for anybody, for that matter.
What about this one? Don't call me young lady.
God.
Is that really bad? Like, honestly, I don't have no idea. Is that bad? Is that bad to call a young girl young lady? He wasn't even doing it out of like a sexual nature or anything like that. He was just kind of like, hey there, young lady.
Was it like they were? I mean, I understand if somebody's like, if they interpret it as, oh, you're talking down to me, but like, but seriously, like, do you know how many times Brie Larson talked down to Sam Jackson in this movie? So many times, it was ridiculous. And it's like you had to make Nick Fury look stupid in order to make Captain Marvel, look competent. And it's just like that's not how you should be writing new characters. Just write a well-written new character. It's not as hard as you make it out to be. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah, that one kind of bothered me. It didn't. I was just like, is that? I had to look at the ladies that were with. I was like, is that offensive?
No, it's not.
They're like, I don't know where they got that one from. I was like, okay, just checking.
It just depends on the situation. Like if you're talking down to me like, all right, young lady, like if you're like sort of chastising me for something, then I can see, but that's not what we're talking about here. I've been called young lady by men on more times than I can count in my life. And it just depends on the context of the situation. And no, there's nothing inherently demeaning about being called young lady. It's just whether or not you're being spoken to in a sort of demeaning manner during that particular.
Even that though, like if somebody's like, okay, young lady, it's like, people gotten so thin-skinned these days, it's ridiculous. I mean,
I completely agree with you. And before we go further with that, and we get into some spoiler territory, I'd like to address the chat. Caitlin, the Keeper of Jeremy's, great to have you here. Hopefully your vacation went well. I'm glad you got to have some time off. from counting all the Jeremys. You deserve a very nice vacation, and hopefully you had a great time. CT117, welcome. Great to have you here. John Matrix, the Aviator King. Nice to see you. Laura, Ryan stole my fan fiction story. It's always awesome to see you here. Nigerian Prince Jeremy, another member of the Jer Army. Welcome.
I love that name.
So do I. Spartan Jeremy, what's up? I believe you have the link. Come and join whenever you're available. And then the Rookie Critic. Rookie, how are you? It's awesome to see you. Now I'm going to start reading individual chats. What?
Is CT117 a droid?
No, not a droid.
We don't have additional droid representation in here to help out 3PO.
No, well, I don't know. Not at the moment.
No, we're good. I'm good. I can hang out. I can hold my own.
Yeah, he's our token droid.
Right. That's hilarious.
And
actually.
token alcoholic. But Laura says, I wonder what would happen if I blocked Proper Jeremy from his own stream. That would be hilarious if you could actually do that. I don't know if that's how it works. But yeah. Imagine if you would be able to do that. Like that would be horrible. Teresa Martin, hey, welcome. Sentient Root Beer. All hail the Council of Jeremys. Well, hail Sentient Root Beer. Also, this guy. Hi, everyone. Hey, what's up, this guy? Tony Racken. I'm pretty sure none of you are sober. We were not last night, a lot of us, but and some of us are paying for it right now.
Yeah. I would have been fine if Hallmark hadn't started screaming at me when he first got in. Jesus.
Yes, Laura. There are many mods. Anthony Aguirre. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sorry about that. I'll catch up on this live stream afterward. Hey, no problem, Anthony. No problem. Thanks for stopping in and saying hello. It's a Trap Productions. Hey, folks, stopping by to leave a like. Oh, dude, thank you, Alex. You're awesome. Alexander Trap. Like, if anybody, everyone, like, go sub to It's a Trap Productions. He has a lot of great content. Spartan Jeremy says, my nemesis. Yes. I don't know. I don't remember when we became nemesis. I don't know. What's is there a plural for that? Nemesi? I don't know. I don't know when we declared ourselves that, but hopefully we're okay. You know. My feelings aren't hurt. If you're just joining, I'm just reading the chat here, and then we're gonna get on to spoiler territory. Thank you all so much for coming in. Fedorable the Horrible, what's up? John Matrix, what's up, guys? Say what's up. Cybernetic Husky says nerds. What's up, man? Go sub to Cybernetic Husky. He's awesome. Oh, just jumped on me. Yay! I love when that happens.
CP117 says he's a clone trooper. So.
Oh, is he?
So we got some clone trooper representation in the house.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because Clone Commander Jeremy changed his name to Spartan Jeremy. Now we have Spartan representation. We got representation everywhere. Snow Dub Music and Entertainment. Hey, welcome to the Council of Jeremys. Is this the hashtag Jer Army?
Kind of.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not really. I'm not like any leader by any means. I just happen to just accidentally start a trend, and well, here we are.
You're just the face of everything, dude.
What was that?
You're just the face of the army. You're not the army itself.
Oh well, oh shucks.
Well, you get us all together, man. You bring us together as a solid, unified unit. I'm still hungover.
We know. And this isn't just. And while this is a celebration of geeks and gamers, and Jeremy himself. By the way, Jeremy D-Day Cobra. He's not able to make it today. He said, but he wanted to tell everybody to say thank you for the constant support. You guys are the best. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. He's traveling back home with his family. He just had a birthday on Friday. The big 4-0. The big 4-0. Congratulations, Jeremy. I hope you had a happy birthday. And I think, and if anybody has a question for me or the panel, feel free to tag me at Proper Jeremy, and I will be reading your chat. Kit Nightwood says, nerds. Hey, Kit, what's up? He's from the Discord. Thank you so much for popping in. Stig Johansson, what's up, Stig? I hope you're recovering well. I don't even know if I don't think he drank that night. But,
Johnson.
No, I said Johansson, or is it Johansson? Did I screw up?
Actually, technically over there, it's Johansson.
Oh, oops.
Because the J is pronounced yeah, like.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's Johansson.
Jeff Saul says, "What's the Jeremy count right now?" Caitlin says, "Oh yeah, it's 250 plus. We're over 250. It's over 250 Jeremys. Oh my God. Oh, geez, what have I done?"
Hey, Mary, is that a company or is that a battalion? I can't remember.
Wait, what?
How many is in a company or a battalion? I forget.
Oh, I don't know. I'm hungover and you're asking me hard questions right now.
So when you ask her a question, make sure you do it in a very loud voice.
You mother trucker. This is why I don't.
Yeah, Hallmark, that's so mean of you. John
What?
Matrix
I
says,
can't hear you.
All right. That's enough for now. We can save that for the end, or for a little later. John Matrix says, "You're on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of Jeremy."
Yeah,
I'm going to take a screenshot of that, and I'm going to share that. That is an awesome comment. I love that. Thank you, John Matrix. I'm stealing that.
That is a great comment. That's a great comment.
All right, so we're gonna get into some spoiler territory for Captain Marvel. So, who would like either of you would like to bring up specific points in the movie that you liked or disliked? Give me your thoughts on it. And go all out. Don't hold anything back.
Oh, I have one.
Oh, go for it.
So my biggest problem with this entire film.
You know why they called it a cockpit? Sorry.
No, that bugged me. That bugged me. But my biggest issue was the Tesseract. Okay, it has no business being there. Do what?
I said, thank God you were going to say that because that's what I wanted to bring up.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to steal anyone else's thunder.
No, you go ahead. So long as we're on the same page, let's do it.
It has no business being there. It has no business in space in that stupid briefcase because we saw it picked up when they went to get Captain America out of the ice, right? So we're led to believe that it's roughly the same time frame that they're getting Captain America. This is in the 2000s. It has no business being there. This is a retcon. This is a complete and utter retcon. So because there's this tiny sliver of wiggle room, people are like, oh, well, we don't know exactly when they grabbed it. It's possible. You're telling me that there was an over 10-year difference between when they found the Tesseract and when they found Captain America in the ice? I don't think so. This is a retcon. You're trying to push Captain Marvel down our throats and fit her into this entire scenario far more than she was ever meant to be. And it's very annoying. It's very frustrating for anybody who's ever seen and loves these films. It has no business being there.
Well, because in Captain America, the Red Skull finds the Tesseract in some Norwegian's house. I mean, it was
Yugoslavia, yeah.
Wait, she got her powers from the Tesseract, though, right?
Yeah, supposedly, which doesn't make any sense either.
Wait, she shot the so she took a gun and she shot the light speed device, which was the Tesseract was in there, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Did I miss that? Because I was so bored, I wasn't focused. And then she absorbed all its power.
Yeah, but
Or was
tell me why
was that another device that they made?
No, it was supposed to be the Tesseract, and I don't understand how the Space Stone is supposed to give her those powers. It doesn't make any sense. Like, let her fly through space, warp through space, fine. But the ability to
it made her
lasers,
invincible. That's for sure.
Yeah. The ability to use lasers, what? And how did the Tesseract stay intact? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. The whole thing is stupid.
I have a better one here. Like, wasn't the Tesseract being studied by Loki, who was inside the body of the old dude at the end of Thor?
You're really quiet. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Hang on.
Yeah, but that was later on. That was later on.
Yeah, but from then, that's when we knew where the Tesseract was after Captain America. So from between Captain Marvel and then, like, is that the time difference we're talking about here? Is like, how much of a time difference are we talking about here? 2, 3
Yeah,
years?
you're right. They didn't make much, but the cat thing was weird because spoiler alert, it's not really a cat. It's some kind of weird alien creature that eats people.
The Flurkin.
And yeah, that's what it's called. And then that thing ate the Tesseract, and that's where it is right now, apparently, after the movie.
Did you
it's in
see
the belly of the cat?
No, the cat threw it up.
Oh, that's right. The cat threw. Yeah. Sorry.
That was disgusting.
Yeah. That was
really
you had
gross.
to stay till late to see that.
Yes, you had to sit.
Which was
all the way through
stupid. Like,
everything.
I'm like, people that didn't stay late. Yeah.
So you got to hear the cat heave, like the fur ball.
Oh yeah. Oh, the whole thing. Yep.
I don't need to relive it. Thank you.
I bet that was
Which doesn't make
money.
sense to me because the cat's like a squid animal and it eats people. So like,
Well,
what?
so if you read the comics, in the cat's stomach is like an alternate dimension. So, but like they don't really bring that up. They just explain it away because it's a Flurkin. So like, but the comics kind of tell you so it's like an alternate dimension in the cat's stomach.
But see, that's the thing. You have to make the movies for people that don't read the comics as well. They got to explain it.
Yeah.
Because that's
Fair
why
enough.
people leave confused,
Yeah.
From what people are telling me about this film, it seems like it's like a Men in Black with a superhero. I mean, even a Men in Black, like the fucking one of the cats or some shit swallowed one of those universe ball thingies.
Yeah, it is. It's go ahead, Mary. I'm sorry. Or excuse me, voluptuous Jeremy.
No, you're fine. No, please.
The whole movie was Captain Marvel, Carol. The whole movie was her finding herself. That's all it was. The whole first hour and 15 minutes, she doesn't know who she is. She has flashbacks. She knows she has powers, but they're suppressing them. So she's just trying to find out who she is. And like that's the whole film.
So where's the Disney theme song? I mean, Mulan had one, Ariel had one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there was a moment where I thought I heard Terminator music because she was walking so stiff. But there's a scene, like all the pictures that you see her where she's just standing there with that scowl. That's like 80% of her scenes. Like that's all it is her standing there.
I really felt like I was watching a high school play. Like I felt like I was watching the third Harry Potter movie, where they haven't nailed their acting abilities yet. She never sold anything that she was doing ever.
Yeah, and it's
what
sad
about Marvel?
Jude Law.
What do you guys? Because I mean, from what I know, my comics knowledge is very, very minimal, but Marvel was supposed to have been a dude, right? Supposed to have been a guy.
Yeah, I don't really care.
But they changed it to Annette Bening, right? So they changed genders for Marvel. Is it because they think that a man can't give advice to a woman?
I don't really care if they change the gender because
you mean in the comic books? Are you talking about the comic books?
So from what I heard in the comic books,
okay. So here, let me give you
guy.
Yeah, let me give you the breakdown. And if I'm wrong, someone correct me. But I had Captain Marvel came out a long time ago as a man in the comic books to rival the DC Superman. So he basically had the exact same powers as Superman, but they called him Captain Marvel. The character never caught on. So the character eventually the Marvel just had the character die. So he died off. And then the powers kind of went to a lady and they called her Miss Marvel. So Miss Marvel was the character, and actually I believe it was a black woman, and it was Miss Marvel.
Monica.
So that was that, and then it began to, like, I guess, as they began to evolve and change and all those things like that. So, and then there was a point where Rogue actually grabbed Miss Marvel and got all her powers, and she became like Captain Marvel. So
that I would love to see them reintroduce the X-Men back into the MCU that way. You know,
well, they will, because Disney just bought them, so they own them now.
Have freaking Brie Larson, you know, get choked out by
Rogue.
By Rogue, yeah.
Have Rogue jack all her powers.
Be like, I got your stuff.
Now, there's your strong, empowered woman, Rogue.
Oh, dude, I love Rogue.
Oh, the best. She is by far my favorite X-Man, and probably one of my favorite Marvel characters, period, to be honest. Like, I'm
just saying, like, the getting back to the movie, it just was slow. Jeremy said it correct. It was very slow paced, and just when you thought they were going to go into the next, that was it. And the final battle scene, like when she was falling from the sky and she calmed herself, then she realized she could fly. Like, there was nothing. You're just kind of like, well, that could have been a cool scene, but they didn't do nothing with it. And then she grabbed all those missiles that what's the guy's name? What's the guy's name from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Ronan.
Yeah. He shot missiles to the Earth to blow up the Earth.
Yeah.
She stopped one missile and then threw it back at all the other missiles, and then she like flew in front of him, and he's like, "All right, well, let's leave.
Never mind.
I don't know what to do here."
From what I've heard, they totally cucked him too.
I mean, like, it was.
He's only in it for a little bit. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, he's not really. I think they just brought him in to tie her to the greater universe or whatever. There's a lot of things that felt ham-fisted about this movie that they just did to sort of shove her in there where she doesn't really belong. So I wouldn't have really cared about the Ronan thing, but it didn't make, like you were saying, Drunk, it didn't make any sense for all of those missiles to blow up because she chucked one of them at him. Like, that was OP and stupid. It didn't make any sense. And Ronan's like, "Oh well, my bad, YOLO," and leaves. And it's just like,
but she didn't fight. So if you saw the previews of her, like, if you saw the previews of her punching the airplanes, that basically was the end fight scene.
Yeah,
and that was it, and it was over. Like, that was it. And she's that powerful that nobody really, like, she couldn't really get stopped. You know, there was one part where she was kind of tied up, and then with that metal liquid wire, but then she just meditated, and she got so powerful that she just blew up everyone in the room, and then everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, who is this person?" And
I mean, to be fair, it just kind of like, I mean, at least she's not Rey.
Well, okay, so I've been doing some thinking about this, okay, and see if you can follow me here. Like, Drunk and Jeremy, I want you to
have you been thinking about the cockpit joke?
No, although that's
gonna milk that one this whole stream. Just letting you know now, it's coming the whole stream.
No, like, I've been thinking about this. So she has the little, like, inhibitor chip, which we don't really realize at first is an inhibitor chip on her, right? And they keep telling her to control her emotions, even though she never shows any emotions, and that this is supposed to be like her training sort of thing. We do see her get into multiple fights. She's not overpowered at first. She does get her butt handed to her. No, I don't want to say her butt handed to her, but she definitely doesn't win several of the fights that she's in at the very beginning or whatever, right? She gets captured. But you sort of look at this situation with her where they present it as though she's taught and trained to learn how to do all this stuff. But then later on, we realize that chip on her it's not the source of her power. It's actually inhibiting her power, right? So she was never actually being trained to use these powers. She was actually being oppressed by not allowing her to tap into her full inner strength. So if you think about it, she was never really taught how to use those powers. She did Mary Sue it up at the end. all of that quote unquote training or that we saw her get at the beginning was never really her engaging and learning how to use her powers. It was actually keeping her from tapping into her full strength. And so in a weird way, they're sort of sending the message, you're being oppressed. If people will just get out of your way, you'll shoot to the stars and you'll be the best thing possible. Right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Am I crazy, or is that basically what they're saying? Because once the chip is gone, she's OP as crap, and we never see her learn how to actually do any of the crazy stuff in the end that we see her do.
Well, yeah, in the beginning, they were reading her mind, and when she got captured, but then she just melted her handcuffs, I guess, and just beat everybody up.
Yeah, but hand lasers are not the same thing as learning how to use your full power set. This chick is flying.
Wait, what's up, Jeremy? I'm Simmons. Sorry, when I say Jeremy, there's a few different people who are like, what?
Time out. So Captain Marvel got captured and was being tortured.
Yeah, in the beginning of the movie, she got captured by the Skrulls.
She escapes.
Yeah,
she does, but for a good reason.
And she beats up the entire crew with her hands locked up in like she can't use her hands.
So they copied The Force Awakens with Rey being captured, tortured, and escaping, and then beating a few characters.
I never thought about that.
I didn't think about it
either. Wow, jinx, Mary.
No. No, I didn't think about that. That's a good point. I don't know though. It's kind of a generic scenario. It's nowhere near as it's kind of the same thing, but it's done very differently.
Disney generic branding. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Disney has become. You know, the strong female character, strong physically, good at everything, sort of puts them on a pedestal. That is what Disney thinks of what they might even call their princesses now. I mean, isn't that kind of concerning? You know, like what's going to happen? Like Frozen 2's coming out, so is that going to be?
The Lion King remake coming out too.
Yeah, I mean, are they going to make Simba look like a little bitch cub or something, and like have Nala be like the real strong character? And yeah, I mean, I know she beat the crap out of Simba in the original, but I think they might like. I'm kind of worried now that they'll push it even further. Well, I mean, no, not just when they were kids, when they were adults too. Whenever they were like pouncing on each other and shit, you know, then it was always Nala who ended up on top.
Well,
every single time.
Proper.
Maybe.
Well, that's reasonable.
Except in the romance scene, but.
Well, no, but I honestly don't have a problem with
excuse.
What is it?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to say Disney's excuse, if they do that with Nala, is that it's not only politically correct, but it's scientific correct, because the woman in the male relationship with the lion is the stronger of the two.
Actually, that you bring up a good point, but I mean, I guess it would just be following the original. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna like. It's also Jon Favreau, so but we're also getting a little off topic here.
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
No,
Captain Marvel.
But no, I was curious to get all your opinions on whether or not you think like, because I sat and really thought about that for a while, about this sort of message, sort of undertoned that you're being oppressed, women. If people will just get out of your way, you can tap into your full powers.
Yeah. Damn patriarchy.
Is like, am I crazy, or am I reading too much into that? Because it's what I sort of felt, because she never really learned how to use the powers we see her use. At the end, she is so OP, it is ridiculous. And the only thing we ever really saw her do with her powers prior to that was like hand blasts. So I'm not really sure what message, because she certainly didn't train to know how to do all of the stuff that she learns how to, or that she's able to do right there at the end, because she's ridiculous over like at the end. It is ridiculous.
The one thing that really bothered me is the fact that, you know, when she puts on her little suit thing, her mouth is open, like in the vacuum of space. How does she breathe? She's human. She's naturally human. How do you breathe in space? And then one time, like, she doesn't even bother to put the helmet thing on, and she's just cruising right by the ship at the end. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Well, was that where that space
Right.
stone thing is?
It was
No.
the space stone. No, it is the space stone. It's the Tesseract / space stone that gives her her powers.
No, okay. But
Yeah.
isn't the Tesseract
Well,
somewhere
it's the same
else?
thing with the Guardians
But-
of the Galaxy too. If you notice, has anybody noticed in Guardians of the Galaxy like certain scenes, like space?
They have like a film over their face, though. They have a film over their face that comes down. Like Star-Lord has those goggles things, and it's like a weird sort of force field for just the face that they use. So you can see their face, but they're not actually exposed to it.
Right. Okay. So that clears that up, but then it just. I mean, there's probably never going to be an explanation. It kind of reminds me of like when Jimmy Neutron used to, just fly out into space.
God!
And that's a reference for the millennials. They'll get that one. But,
Nickelodeon, man.
Yeah, and they even explained it once. But then Carl was just like la la la, llamas.
Yeah.
And just distracted. Sheen is asking a legitimate question, and then he's just like, okay, well, we can breathe in the vacuum of space because this reason, and there's wind, and they can have a campfire on the moon. I mean, but that's a kid's show. This is Marvel, and I know it's like a superhero film, so there should be like a lot of suspension of disbelief. But I mean, come on.
Well, it's always been taken seriously before, but I really do think that the space stone being the sort of source of her powers is the explanation there.
Okay. Well, I still think it's a lame excuse, but that's just me though. So at any rate, I promised that I would get back to the chat, so I'll just do that real quick, and then we're going to talk about Rotten Tomatoes. That's a whole different can of worms. So Jeff Soul said, Nick Fury losing his eye in that fashion just created another timeline. Oh, okay. I mean, all right. Snow Dub Music and Entertainment, Captain Flatbutt isn't supposed to be the movie between Infinity War and Endgame. According to the comics, it should be a Warlock movie. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't read the comics. Have any of you on the panel?
From what I've heard, this Captain Marvel movie should have taken place after Endgame. Not before, from what I've heard.
Oh, okay. All right. Joshua Hughes says they found the cube, the Tesseract. I like the cube. That's actually the exact same word I used to. They found the cube in the ocean back during World War II, right after Cap, quote unquote, died. When he was just like frozen and stuff. Yeah, I mean that's true. That's what I have heard. That's what I've come to understand. And then Jessel says there's 2 Tesseracts. Are there? I'm not entirely sure. What do you guys think? Do you think there are 2 different ones? I don't
think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just. I mean, I know what you're trying to do. I know you're trying to like explain it, but I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. I honestly wish I had a better answer for you.
Well, hang on for a second here, because being that there are multiple universes, because they just came out with the Spider-Man multiverse, wouldn't there be like multiple Tesseracts then in different universes? I mean, that's something to consider.
Okay. I mean, this is coming from somebody who's not as well versed in the MCU or the comic books as some other people on the panel. 3PO, you have any thoughts on that?
No.
Okay. All right, moving on then.
He's not even going to indulge me.
Speaking of multiples, Jeff the Iron Wolf, I heard him saying that this character, this Captain Marvel, has been rebooted like 9 times.
Oh no, that is true.
Oh, in comic book form, yeah.
Yeah, because it just won't fly.
Right. Yeah. Well,
that's a statement from that's a statement from Ethan Van Sciver. He you know, since he works in the big two and shit. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean EBS like is probably one of the. I mean, I'm not even saying that because he's a part of this community, but he is absolutely a fantastic comic book artist. I mean, there's Jeff from World Class Bullshitters used to have this segment on Good Morning Pop Culture. It was bad comic book art, and I asked if there was any bad comic book art from EBS, and he was just like, I haven't really seen any. And I was just like, wait, seriously? I mean, if somebody else can find bad comic book art from Ethan Van Sciver, by all means, find it, take a screenshot of it, take a picture of it, send it to EBS and World Class.
Started flipping.
Do that, dude. I mean, seriously, and if you can't find anything, that is a testament to how good Ethan Van Sciver is at what he does, and it's a testament to his true talent. But I mean, enough sucking up to him. If you do find something, I would love to see it. And I'm sure he'll get it. I'm sure he'll get a kick out of it too. I mean, he has a good sense of humor, and I imagine that he would understand. Just I was young in that career, but I think you get a kick out of it. He wouldn't be embarrassed or anything. He's just that kind of person to me. John Matrix said the fix is in Captain. Oh yeah, the fix is in. Captain Marvel has raised up to a 57% audience score from a 31% since Rotten Tomatoes fixed it. That is yeah. I mean, because I think last night was it that they had, or the night before, one of those nights, Captain Marvel. No. Somebody, hold on a second. Somebody accidentally at Rotten Tomatoes revealed that there were 78,000 audience scores, but then they changed it, and and it changed back to what it was. I still have it up from when it was at 71,000. There was because there were 50,000 that were deleted. Let me just share this real quick.
Apparently, they're only allowing scores of 3.5 or better.
Well, Drunk did a video on that. He did a couple of videos on that, actually.
Thank you for the plug.
Yeah, he did. And here's the score. You have a very lovely. I still have not refreshed this. Thankfully, this was. I don't remember when this was, but as you see right here, there is a lovely 79% there with 329 reviews for the critics, 35% and 71,810 user ratings. This is still something that I have not refreshed.
Do it.
No,
I'm not.
Don't refresh it.
No.
Open up a new window. Open up a new window.
He's got a new window.
Here it is.
He's got a new window. See?
It's right here. I have another window right there. 80% now, 57,000.
But look how many votes.
Yeah. User ratings is now 46,588. And look at this. Add your rating. Okay.
Wow, less votes and a higher percentage. Wow, that's.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a testament to. And this keeps logging me out for no reason. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go back to this in just a second. Hold on. Stop.
So,
I'm gonna refresh that log in, and I'm gonna show you exactly what happens. And if you watched Odin's movie blog, or I think it was his secondary channel, Welcome to Asgard, he had a stream that was running. The last time I saw it was 13 hours of just refreshing the Rotten Tomatoes page, and he covered it, and oh my God, it was just absolutely ludicrous what the score was. Okay, so I'm going to.
Oh, election year is going to be great.
Yeah, let me go back to.
So are you saying that Rotten Tomatoes has gone to ludicrous speed?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be an understatement. So, okay.
Well, I also think we're seeing the evolution of people not caring. This has really opened people's eyes to where they're just going to find people that kind of have similar tastes in movies and just listen to their review, whether they're professional or not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just think that's where it's going to be. Like, if someone watches my Captain Marvel review, they might go, "Oh yeah, well I have similar taste than him, so maybe I'll just watch his movie reviews because then I, I trust it." So that, I mean, I think that's just what's going to happen, or if it's not already happening. I mean, I've got a couple people that I listen to that I'm like, yeah, they're spot on, and then there's a couple others that are good friends of mine that I'm like, you're crazy. I don't know what you smoke before you go to the movies, but.
So we did a weird sort of thing last night. Lethal came on my stream. That stream is now prohibited for reasons. And we decided to go ahead and post reviews on Captain Marvel. Lethal and I both did this, and we posted a review for a different movie as well. And I just checked my Rotten Tomatoes. So I've done 2 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes in my entire life. One was Iron Man 2 and the other one was Captain Marvel. It is only acknowledging the review that I placed for Iron Man 2. It has not acknowledged my Captain Marvel review because I gave it 2.5 stars and said it was garbage. So it's not even acknowledging the review that I placed up. But I did the exact same amount of stars for Iron Man 2, left a garbage review for that, and that's no problem. Right up, bam, no issue.
That's ridiculous. And I'm actually going to, am I still presenting? Okay. Yeah. So I basically, I put a 2-star rating and said, I was disappointed by the movie. I didn't like what they did with Nick Fury's character, and I thought the pacing was a little slow for an MCU film. Post, all right, it says review posted, then it fades away, kind of like Thanos snap. And looky here, I refresh. It is not there. Because at every other review, they will say what.
I got your login.
They save the information. No, you don't. It was all no. It had to add the stars. But yeah, now everybody. Oh God, that's gonna be bad.
Or did
I'm
it?
gonna. Oh,
why is your username Big Willie 818? What's that all about?
How did you know? But let's. But at any rate, I'm gonna.
An ego problem there.
I'm so screwed now. Anyway, now my email's gonna get hacked. I'm gonna change my password. But anyways, I will. See.
Email.
Yeah.
I thought that was your.
No. Okay, moving on. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do the exact same thing for Tyler Perry's Amadea Family Funeral, and I'm giving it 1 star, and I'm writing garbage to your movie as usual. Post. All right, we posted. I'm gonna refresh, and the review's gone again.
Really?
Oh shoot! Might just be. So I don't even know if it is a Rotten Tomatoes thing or if it's just a whatever thing, but like something weird is going on with the website either way. So I'm going to stop presenting and I'm going to show you if it actually shows up in my page, because this is the main problem that has been that's been happening with Rotten Tomatoes. And it seems as though they're taking into consideration, just removing. They may as well just remove the audience score, in general, because like that's what some people have wanted to do. Some people have championed that, but I mean, especially like film critics, But I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But what were you saying?
If I may, I don't know what type of platform Rotten Tomatoes is using, but I know what type of form software I'm using. And like if you sign up on my website and you post some very terms of service breakable stuff, I'm able to go in as an admin and see your IP address and ban your IP address, even though you can still visit the site and keep going into the posts and shit. You can't really post anything once your IP address is blocked. So
really?
I don't know if they're So I don't know if they're actually selecting the people who are just saying things like that and then blocking their IP address, and by the time they go back in and try to go post something again, basically you can't do it anymore because your IP address is being recognized by that website is blocked. So that may be the reason. So unless you get like another smartphone or a different computer with a different IP address, you probably can't post.
Are you serious? Do you think that's what they're doing?
It would be the logical thing that they're probably doing. I mean, it's the only thing that they could probably do to select people who are trying to like randomly post that, okay, this person's posting You see their IP address? Yeah, all right. IT team, knock out his IP address and ban him from being able to post. Okay, yeah, he's done. Bye. Because you have to sign up an account with them.
So what was it? Odin was saying something to the effect of they're waiting to approve everyone's like comments and scores. So they're doing it in batches. I think
yeah, that's an administrative ability right there if they have to approve it.
All right, I'm seeing my screen right now. What were you saying?
No, how do you approve? There must be hundreds of scores coming in at a time. I mean, how do you?
Yeah, if you appoint moderators, like, okay, like say for instance you have, all these article writers on a website, like on comic book reviews or something like that. So if I'm an administrator to my website, I can appoint anybody to be a person with that administrative right. So they could have like hundreds of people working at Rotten Tomatoes right now with these same administrative abilities and just be like going through a list of people right now, just being like block, 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 block. All day long. All day long.
All right, so if you can see my screen right now.
Hello?
Garbage Tier movie, as usual, has been posted. However, there is no sign of Captain Marvel whatsoever, the review that I just posted. Even The Last Jedi is still up. Very disappointed by this. Such a huge letdown. That the face of dedicated fans and gives them the middle finger. And they are okay with that. But no, Captain Marvel, they have to protect it for God knows why. I mean, this is the kind of thing that I'm worried about, for the future. It's just like, why would they continue to do this? Like, what stake do they have in it? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well,
I mean,
apparently they're racist too, because they're allowing the Medea movie ratings to get freaking thrashed. So.
Wait, did everyone see the screen, by the way?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw it. We saw it.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, that was I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, come on. Anyways. But
well,
I mean,
it's
what do you
not
guys
credible. It's just not a credible. So
yeah, I mean,
I won't use it anymore for any. There's no point.
Yeah.
I think they just pretty much
I've never.
I feel like they
put
pretty
much stock in any of the.
One at a time, guys. Who's running this stream, for crying out loud? Sorry.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Not you.
No, I'm saying okay. Go ahead, whoever.
No,
go ahead,
Hallmark.
Jeremy.
Hallmark. Oh, that's even worse. Hallmark, go ahead.
No, I was done. That was it.
What did you say? We were talking at the same time.
Hell, I don't know. I didn't. It came out, and I said it, and it's gone forever. So,
dude, well, I'm hungover, and I'm not acting as out of it as you guys are.
Press F in the chat for this. Anyways, I'm gonna just my personal thoughts on this. I mean, it just seems like Rotten Tomatoes threw their reputation out the window after this moment, and it's just kind of it's absurd to even cite them as credible anymore. They shot themselves in the foot. They basically said, "We don't care about what the audience thinks. It's only these critics who are essentially, not paid necessarily, but they might lose their access unless they give." Disney and other like major companies and corporations their a fair review. They will, as one person said, turn the other way in order to be in the good graces of these companies. And it's just one of those things where it puts into question: was it really Lucasfilm? Which is why The Last Jedi got so many positive reviews. Like, was it Lucasfilm or was it really Disney? Because this is distributed both, with Marvel Studios and Lucasfilm. So it just kind of puts that all into question. Because at first people were not really blaming Disney for that. They were blaming Lucasfilm, and they thought like people were like, yeah, this is the reason. This is the people we should be focusing on. It's not Disney because they have so many other things to do. They have the MCU, which is great. Robert Downey Jr. even said the MCU listens to fans. And from this, it seems like they're not doing that as much or not doing that anymore. And if they are listening, they're listening to the wrong messages or like the wrong, they're just taking all the messages that they hear and just having like the worst kind of solutions. And I don't know. It just boggles my mind.
Well, if you think about it, this is really a quite ingenious strategy in terms of if you want to undercut the conversation that you don't agree with, you just start calling them bots, or you just start saying, oh, this is just a massive level of trolling that's going on. And it really is a very effective way of silencing your opposition, because it gives you the grounds to do it. You say, oh, we're silencing the trolls. We want to promote real conversation. We want to promote the legitimate voices. We want to make sure that those who are actually supposed to be talking and aren't just trolling this. It's a very, very good strategy for validating your silencing the opposition, because it sort of makes it seem as though what you're doing is reasonable, when in all reality, all you're doing is you're silencing opposition. You're silencing people using their voices. But it certainly seems like the rational thing to do, because you wouldn't want something that's legitimately good to be mistreated, because these people are terrible, horrible people. And so we have to mitigate the damage they're doing to something that doesn't deserve it. It's very intelligent on their side, because a lot of people are going to look at it and think, oh, well, this is reasonable. We shouldn't allow people to damage or destroy something that doesn't deserve it, as opposed to like just recognizing that this is people trying to speak and use their voice. So in a real freedom of speech kind of spirit, you should allow everyone to have their say and let the chips fall where they may. But they're using their sort of moral high ground to stand against us. It's effective.
In all seriousness, I've never put much stock in any movie critic type of thing. I'll listen to them, but then I make up my own mind. Because there's been a lot of films over the years where critics have been like, "Oh, this movie sucks," and I went and saw it, and I'm like, "Hey, I had a good time." It might not have been the best movie in the world, but it wasn't as bad as what they said.
In all serious, voluptuous Jeremy really is creeping me out every time it comes up on the screen.
Do you want me to switch?
No, you can't. This is Council of Jeremy. You gotta wait. What? Oh, that's even creepier.
Voluptuous is the best a ma'am can get. Okay.
Best a ma'am. That's pretty good.
I've had a few people lovingly refer to me as Wookiee Jeremy, with the hair or whatever.
That's so appropriate. Well, at any rate, does anyone else have any comment on that before I acknowledge the chat?
I think we should expect more of the same from other places. That's all I'm saying.
You think so?
Oh yeah, definitely. Look, there's a narrative like being pushed here. There's a narrative being pushed, and they're gonna push it any way they can and silence whatever they want. But the thing is now, like in the general sense, people have it. People are convinced that if you're not on the right side, then it's just robots. Yeah. It's just robots or trolls. Like it's so weird to me. That the average person who doesn't understand what's going on, they're like, well, isn't it just like Russian bots? I'm like, why would Russia care about a Captain Marvel review? Like, honestly, use common sense. Why would they care? You think they would have bigger issues to worry about, or what The Last Jedi is doing? Like, who cares? Like, why would they care about that? And so, and then you get people like, yeah, I never thought about that. I know that's the problem. You're letting other people do the thinking for you, and you're just going with the narrative. So they're just pushing this kind of stuff, and it's. I think it'll get worse, but then I believe other people will take the opportunity to create something that will work, that will be better, and that will work. So
Well, they are scared of us. They're definitely scared of us. We have them on the run. They're taking extreme measures to combat us here. Like these are some pretty extreme measures they're going to fight back against us. We've scared them. They're terrified of what we can do.
And also I think even like in a way, I think even like YouTube might even be like it's for some reason there are some people who think that YouTube is being complicit as well, because when you do like a YouTube search for Captain Marvel, you get a lot of the mainstream websites. Like Brie Larson has turned into, just like more like a news, thing.
Yeah.
I don't have any evidence on it. This is just an alleged thing. But I did notice that my highest viewed video was when, the Rotten Tomatoes, want to see score was taken away. That's my highest view video at almost 2K views. And the one that was, again, Rotten Tomatoes and Captain Marvel, one of those topics that was really trending. I think it's at less than 100 views right now. I'm just like, I think the algorithm is changing, or I mean, what's going on here?
John Talks did a video on that earlier today, actually, and I have to agree. I had something similar happen. I had a Rotten Tomatoes video that was about all of this, and it hit the algorithm, and it took off, as a video should when you hit the algorithm correctly, right? We all know that we're right in the thick of where we're supposed to be. This is a hot conversation. We know it is. So why are our videos not being picked up by the algorithm? It doesn't make any sense. So these things should have been picked up. We should be on the list when people pull this stuff up, but we're not anymore. And I believe absolutely 100% what John Talk said in his video is true, that YouTube is now entering the fray and mitigating the damage we're doing.
Trying to tell you, it's coming to all platforms.
If I may,
Simmons, I know you've been wanting to.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I know you've been wanting to talk for a while, so I apologize about that. But
I'm trying to get everybody to say what they want to say, because sometimes I just take over conversations. Sometimes.
Go for it.
You'll have to. Okay, so Hallmark, back me up here, buddy. How much do you know about World War II history, buddy?
Who, me?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can put it on a scale, but why? What's
okay? All right. So what I'm seeing here is what we saw back in 1933. This is what we call, what I want to call, internet brown shirting, because basically it's the popular opinion of a minority suppressing everybody with their own viewpoints. Because if you see what they're doing here, every time someone puts an opposing thing, they're going through, kicking the doors down of every single website and making them shut up and put up better reviews. You can see it on Rotten Tomatoes, you see it on IMDb, you see it on all these other major platforms for review scores, and it's just getting worse, even to the point where YouTube now, like you said before, is not doing the exact same thing. And I'm just sitting here wondering how far they're going to take it, especially when this whole Captain Marvel thing went down over this weekend, and you're seeing this person trying to run for a congressional position talking about legislating people to stop them from trolling online with a law. And I'm just like, whoa, come on, that's too far. And it just seems like when they're doing this internet brown shirting, they're using Russian bots as the new Jew standpoint. If you get my drift there.
Yeah, well, I would hold back. I would hold back a little bit on the Germany.
I want to get the last word, Jeremy. Then we'll
go for it. Yeah, and I got to acknowledge the chat, but
So
Simmons, go ahead.
No, I kind of said my piece.
Okay.
I definitely can understand the analogy, though. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But
what were you saying, Drunk?
Yeah. Is everybody ready? Because
we're good.
I'm about to blow your minds here. I'm about to blow your minds.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So I am fortunate enough to travel. Did somebody just fall down a flight of steps?
Simmons, Simmons, can you mute your mic while you're typing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you just fall down on a flight? You have to call 911. What?
Yeah, no, he's just typing on. Yeah, he's just typing on his computer. Just mute yourself while you're doing that.
Um, I get it. I'm very fortunate that the organization I work for to help the poor in other countries, I get to travel all over the world, and there's only many countries around the world, even some free countries, they censor everything on the internet. Like a lot of countries don't have Twitter. They're not allowed to have access to Instagram. I mean, I bring up China a lot. China's a communist country, but they have everything blocked. I mean, there's no Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram, no Google. There's several, I mean, thousands of websites that they will not let their people have access to, where they can pull up Chinese history and see things that I mean, they don't even know. They regulate the books that they read. They regulate religion, everything.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm going to see Lynette one minute.
All right, but I love you.
All right.
Well, there you have it. And so
Oh, yeah.
it's all like, and it's going on right now. It's going on right now. I was just in Greece. Greece bans a lot of stuff too, and they're supposedly a free country. So it's just that it's just about like controlling the people and what kind of information or access they want. And in doing so, they do that in a way they feel like if they can control what the people understand and read, then there won't be any problems with the people. China doesn't really want religion in their country because they feel that religion causes uproars and I don't know, like people wanting to take over the government or whatever, things like that. So, but they don't allow so many things. It's just everywhere. Like almost any country I could travel to, you have to buy this thing on your phone called a VPN, which basically is like a hacker app that lets you access those websites by filtering through the system of the government. So people buy these VPNs and then that they're able to access this information, like, Google, and have all that information. So America is just one of the few that doesn't really have it. And I mean by one of the few. So it just looks like it could be coming our way, but it's interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll probably have a new definition of what free speech is, and just to control the people, you can blame it on whatever you want, like bots, whatever, and just say, well, this is why we're doing this, because bots. And then the majority of the people will be like, oh, no problem. Let's just keep them out.
I mean, yeah, there's already, I mean, there are some limits on, free speech. You can't say everything that you want to say. Like, you can't threaten somebody. You can't say fire in a crowded building, if there's no fire, something like that, starting a panic or something like that. But I mean,
up until the point,
then there are some, Hallmark. Anyways, I one thing that I just wanted to, point out is just that, when people talk about this kind of comes into hate speech too, because, like, what do you consider hate speech? Whose interpretation is this? If it's subjective, it's just kind of, there's such a blurred line. I mean, there's obviously some things, you probably shouldn't say, but I mean, like this, we have the First Amendment for a reason. So it's just like one of those things where it's just, it's a lose-lose situation because, I mean, thank God we have the Constitution and we, have it as intact of a bill as it is. Otherwise, we'd be like Canada or the UK, in some situations where if you, I guess in Canada, if you misgender somebody, or mistaken them, you call them the wrong pronoun, and it can be a made up one of the 72 different genders that Facebook provides. Then I'm not joking about that. Then you can get fined, you can get maybe thrown in jail if you don't pay. I mean, it's a slippery slope that just leads to just such a troubling environment that it just concerns me for the future. And, I always even when growing up, I always was like, I hate, my generation. I don't feel like I feel like I was born in the wrong time period, and just every single day, it just gets worse and worse. And I'm just validated every single time another one of these things happens,
It's why our videos and our standing up on this platform is so important, because if we don't do it, who will? This is going to get to a point, if we don't stand up and make sure we do some serious protecting of our right to speak and making sure that we make our voices heard, then there's going to come a point where they don't do this overnight, guys. This happens slowly. This is a gradual process, because it's like sticking a frog in water. You don't start boiling it right away. You slowly turn up the heat. That's how they get you. We have to keep pushing, because this isn't just about us individually. This is about us as a society, making sure that we keep this stuff in check, because if we don't, at some point, maybe not today and maybe not tomorrow, but at some point, it will get out of hand, and we will find ourselves locked down. We will find ourselves no longer able to actually have our own opinions about things. This is very important. This is so much larger than each of us individually.
And you were absolutely correct. And before I get, there's something that was brought up later in the chat. But before I get to that, I'm going to read a couple of chats that I intended to, a while back. I'm sorry, everybody. Thank you for your patience. It's been like, almost like an hour since, I said I was going to read the chat again. But John Matrix, John Matrix says the fix. Oh yeah, no, he already said. Oh, I already read that. You know what? Okay, so modern dude thing 12 Zach 12 said, "Sup, proper Jeremy. Sorry I'm late to the stream. Keep up the good work." Modern dude thing said one of the nicest things. We're gonna start with something good. Like, we're gonna have a little bit of good news here. I'm sorry if I'm like disrupting the flow in the stream, but this guy said the nicest thing on one of my videos, and I want to read it to you. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
He said, "Proper Jeremy, I can tell you have a bright future on YouTube. I'll try and get all my friends to sub to you because I feel you deserve it. Just keep being yourself. That's what people love about you, man." That was one of the nicest things that anybody has ever said to me that wasn't like somebody who I already knew who subscribed, or some people that I know on Twitter. So I just want to thank you very much for that. Such a nice thing. I mean, dude, that is awesome. I mean, thank you so much. You don't have to start a clap. But I so much appreciate you being in the chat. Thank you so much. It's a Vase Productions is saying hello. Oh my God, I'm sorry, this was like several minutes ago. Ray or Captain Marvel? Oh God, we'll get to that. Well, that's gonna be our next topic. Or it'll be like a little later. Okay, so Spartan Jeremy says, like, you never sent me an invite. Yes, I did. I did on Discord. Hold on. Let me just fix that real quick. Here.
What is this? I thought you sent the invite.
I did. I actually did. I did 3 times. Now that was my 3rd time. Robert Jeremy, can you do a reaction video to The Chosen One? If you love Star Wars, you'll love the video. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. Especially if my reaction is good. I don't know. You're gonna have to send me a link. Do you have a Twitter? If you have a Twitter, just send me the just in the chat. Right, if you're still here, write the username. Okay. Oh, Star Wars for Life, Ruthie. Ruthie's here. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
CT117 says, "Are we all just going to say everything Disney makes is SJW?" No, absolutely not. That would be a ludicrous statement, because just because it's Disney or run by a company doesn't mean it's SJW. Just because there's a strong female character in a movie doesn't mean it's SJW. And that's one thing that we brought up several times, is that just because you have some elements of what you call the SJW or feminism, we have to be careful about not just turning into like an all-out hate group. About everything that's coming out sucks. We pray. I mean, I don't speak for everyone, but I you know, if I don't like something, I will say I don't like it. And if I like something, I'll say I like it, you know, and it's just my opinion. And that's what I express. Like, I love Cobra Kai. I love Cobra Kai a lot. I think it's one of the best things on YouTube Premium, and I will praise it, but I will boo, you know, if season 2 sucks. And I hope it does not suck. I hope it's not the equivalent of Karate Kid Part 2 or 3. Please, no. And I hope, yeah, I hope they just keep doing what they're doing. But anyways, oh, okay, soy-based Jeremy. All right, so this goes up. Okay, oh, so apparently this is big news. Article 13 passed.
What?
Oh, boy.
Oh my God, I gotta change. Okay, somebody look this up. I gotta change the title right now. This is a whole different thing. This is a whole different ball game.
A whole new ball game.
Oh my God! Somebody look this up right now. I mean,
a whole lot of people in Europe are downloading VPNs right now.
Oh my God!
Martin, Stig, I feel sorry for you guys right now. I really do.
Oh my Lord! Are you serious? Are you serious? There's no.
Here comes
no way.
Here comes United Nations. Lovely.
Dude, Simmons, can you okay, Spartan Jeremy's here, but he's muted. If you could unmute yourself, that'd be great. I'm sorry I didn't notice that you were in here. What's up, man?
No, I'm good. I literally did not get the first. How many did you send me?
I sent you 2 before, but the third one obviously worked. But dude,
yeah.
Article 13 passed. What? Are you reading this? Do you have like an article like brought up?
I don't, God. But to be honest, I'm not surprised in the slightest.
Are you serious? Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God, somebody looked this up right now. Like, seriously, 3PO voluptuous. Like, seriously, anybody.
I'm trying to. Okay,
yeah, we got to talk about this. This is pretty bad.
So BBC News. Do you want me to read this?
This is breaking news.
Do you want me to read this or no?
It looks like it passed like months ago.
Really?
Well, this was 2 days ago.
No. Yeah,
no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, this was on the 14th of February. I'm sorry. So what is Article 13? So should we go ahead and explain what it even is first, or?
Yeah.
I would have you know, Spartan Jeremy is our resident. He is our resident Brit at the moment. So Spartan, can you elaborate on this?
Oh, geez. To be honest, I haven't looked at Article 13 in quite a while. I knew what it was. I knew it was something they wanted to do. But I wasn't. I figured if it was going to happen, it was basically going to happen. I mean, if memory serves, this was something that a lot of businesses in the UK and Europe were pushing for. But businesses in the UK and Europe, to my knowledge, aren't beholden to the general populace in the same way politicians are. So to be honest, it really doesn't surprise me at all that this has passed, unfortunately.
So I have an article up in front of me that kind of sort of explains what it is. It says, this is from BBC. I just put the link in the chat, and it says, what is Article 13? Article 13 is the part of the new EU copyright directive that covers how online content sharing services should deal with copyright protected content, such as television programs and movies. It refers to services that primarily exist to give the public access to protected works or other protected subject matter uploaded by its users. So it is likely to cover services such as YouTube, Dailymotion, and SoundCloud. However, there's a long list of exemptions, including nonprofit encyclopedias, open source software development platforms, cloud storage services, online marketplaces and communication services. So basically, as I understand it, Article 13 is it basically says that you're not allowed to use copyrighted content they're trying to protect copyright more, as I understand it.
So
So
basically, when you make a YouTube video, you just have to show your face.
well,
I mean,
you're gonna
that's
have to do a lot
basically
more than that. It looks like gamers are going to be particularly impacted by this. Like people who live stream gaming.
That's what I'm saying. You just have to show your face. You're just gonna talk on the camera.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
that's pretty boring.
basically what most of us are already doing. Because
I mean, no, I use clips from other movies and stuff all the time. So
can I just get like a confirmation from the chat? Like, is this officially passed?
That's what I'm looking up right now. That's why I muted myself. So I'm doing research, Helmet, because I need to do this for my forum as well.
I'm looking at an article from Wired, and it says the European Parliament has voted to pass the new EU copyright directive. This is when things get messy. Over the last few months, a crucial vote that had been portrayed as a decisive battle over the future of the internet as we know it. Whether you believe that or not, the vote revealed what side of the debate you stood on. We have been here before. The directive was already rejected in a vote in July, following an energetic campaign orchestrated by prominent technologists and internet grandees, including the inventor of the World Wide Web, Sir Tim Berners-Lee, and Wikipedia founder Jimmy Wales. Far from being killed, though, the legislation was simply reassessed with MEPs putting forward over 100 amendments. So here we are.
Oh my God. Okay, so all right, so soy-based Jeremy, do you have, yes or no, do you have a link to this being confirmed? I know you already said yes, but that was like a minute ago. So I just want to confirm this. I just want to confirm this, so we're not, spreading like fake news or anything, because this is kind of a big deal. This is kind of a big deal for our British friends and our European.
You could have saw it on TV proper, and they haven't updated articles on it yet. This could just happen right now, and people are like scrambling to write articles right now. So we have no idea if this is real or not. If someone said some shit on C-SPAN, we have no idea if they're going to type articles on like immediately. Sorry, just wanted to put that out there.
I'm looking at news articles right now, and it just says like Twist addresses EU Article 13 issues in town hall video updated. How do you pass the most unpopular measure in European history? Dude, I'm not. Oh, you scared me. You scared me. I jumped the gun a little bit. So you got to confirm this, dude.
For those who aren't,
he said yes in the chat.
No, but that was like a minute ago. That was before I asked the question.
Who aren't in Europe, MEPs are basically elected representatives of each country, because obviously people keep saying that the European Union wants to become the United States of Europe. I kind of agree with that, but at the minute, the European Parliament is made up of elected representatives of each country. So that's basically what an MEP is.
Okay.
Are we all like on our phones, like searching?
Yeah, like
I don't see it. I think that if this was true, it would have been a bigger news. It would have been everywhere. I'm not really finding it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
soy-based Jeremy, you don't scare me like that.
Well,
you don't scare me like that. So
I put the link to that Wired article in the chat.
I don't think it showed up. Hold on. Yeah, we're all pretty much scrambling right now because like if this is confirmed and this is breaking news, like this live stream might actually like blow up, and I don't know I wouldn't know what to do. But hopefully, I don't think that is the case right now. So I'm just gonna like.
I put it on the YouTube chat. I haven't put it in the. I'll try and put it in the.
Put it in the Hangout chat.
Public.
There you go.
Okay, the EU has passed Article 13, but Europe's meme war is far from. Oh, that was back in September. Okay, all right. So I think we might have had I don't know. I don't know about this right now. Otherwise, I think it would have been a much bigger deal. So anyways, what the hell were we talking about before this scare like got us?
Rotten Tomato censorship and the censorship of YouTube.
Well, it was. I mean, it was related, but okay. I think we should just like move on from there.
You better change the title before people think this is true.
Oh yeah, definitely. We don't. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Fake news.
Yeah, fake news.
Soy-based Jeremy, I swear, like, Snow Dumb Music and Entertainment says, breaking news, feelings matter, and the soy strikes back. YouTube has a video about it. The final vote does not happen until the 12th. Okay, all right, okay, thank you. Soy-based Jeremy, why? Why'd you have to scare me like that?
Because he's full of soy.
Exactly. I mean,
it's bad for your brain.
Well, anyways, so we didn't really get a proper introduction to Spartan Jeremy. Spartan, thank you so much for joining us, and yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I was just out with my girlfriend, so I had bigger things to do than come and sit with you lot.
Well, that's okay. It's all good. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. The lady comes first. Like family comes first. Absolutely. So you got to do what you got to do, man. But I want to thank you for joining us. Nevertheless,
I have to be a toxic white male after all.
Yeah, we all know. We all know.
Don't tell me it's a cockpit and we'll be fine.
Well, I mean, if you want to,
no, you know why they call it a cockpit. No. that's my douche male voice.
Well, if you want to get technical about it, I am a dick.
Dion says, hello all. So what's going on? I don't know. Soy-based Jeremy just totally trolled us.
I think he did, yeah. Soy's a little sorry, I won't say that right.
Actually, I was cutting my toenails while that whole thing was going on. I didn't care.
That's gross.
And they call us Russian bots.
Yeah.
At least we gave it due diligence, right? At least we legit like
yeah, we took credence to it. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, we took it seriously, but I probably should have. Honestly, next time I gotta have like. Probably should have like a mod or something that will look up the information first before I just react to that, because I have never had that. I've never been in one of those situations before. So, yeah. Thank you, Soy-based Jeremy, for that crap. You successfully trolled me. Don't you ever do that ever again. Don't do it again. That was not cool. but damn, you
mean not proper.
Me. You got me. I'm still new at this, so like you gotta give me a little wiggle room. Oh my god, he totally did troll me. You bastard!
Kind of felt like TMZ there for a minute, like.
Oh god, you little shit.
Oh, calm down, Justin. Calm down.
As I am British, I will add this one note to it. Even if it hasn't passed yet, the vote's still going to be had before the United Kingdom leaves Europe, so it still might affect us.
Oh, that's true.
Because at the earliest, we don't leave until the 29th.
Derailed.
I was about to give you mod status too, so you could post a link. That would have been
Yeah,
a
but
huge
boy.
mistake. Oh God. Okay. All right. Woo. All right. You know what?
So are we ever going to talk about Mark Hamill now?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
That poor
Let's change the subject. Okay, so Jeremy Simmons, since you brought it up, would you like to discuss what Mark Hamill brought up?
Mark Hamill, since apparently he did his last movie because they ended the film wrap about a couple weeks back. Apparently, I think he's going back to bashing The Last Jedi or speaking his mind now since he's done with those 3 contracts he signed. So he posted a picture of him and Harrison hugging. He says, "This is what we could have gotten."
You got to keep in mind that might be spoilers for episode 9 as well, because it means that Harrison Ford and it means that Han Solo might not be coming back, or at least they won't be getting the reunion we were hoping for.
Yeah, that's what he was saying, man. It's basically what he was saying in his tweet, and it's very disheartening to hear that because there were rumors that JJ was going to make all this stuff right, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. Not to mention, there was this shareholder last week, and I actually have the screenshots, and I actually posted them to you guys like a couple days ago. But basically, this dude who's a shareholder for Disney, he was just giving out little details and snippets of what he saw from the actual movie itself. Like Chewbacca's holding, Rey's holding Chewbacca's blaster, and
Chewbacca's nowhere to be found. Yeah,
he was in. I think there was a couple of set photos with him in it, with Poe Dameron.
He's gonna die.
You think so?
They brought back the blockade runner too.
To be honest, Chewie hasn't done much of anything this entire.
Yeah, they made him a non-factor, which really sucks. And then they just kind of
they turned him into a rug and set him next to the Jadaric table.
So
in the Falcon.
sad. Y'all gonna give me down a path that I don't want to come back.
Don't say that, man.
Chewie's gonna show up and tell. This is what's gonna happen. Chewie's gonna show up and tell Rey, "You know why they call it a cockpit, huh?" That's what's gonna happen. And then they're gonna kill off his character, saying, "You see, deep down all that fur, it was just a dick." And that's how it's gonna end.
No, well, to be honest, they've already done that. They did that in the first episode of season 2 of Star Trek Discovery. They brought in this new character from.
They brought Chewie in Star Trek.
No, they brought in this new character from. They brought in this new character from the Enterprise, a science officer, and he's basically from the second he enters the ship, he's basically portrayed as a dick, and then they kill him off and then they go, "Oh well, he was a dick all along, so he deserved it."
Yeah,
people in Hollywood are doing this shit. It's annoying.
Yeah, it's over.
I mean, it was over. It was over after the last movie.
I had a little hope. I had a little hope because you hear the rumors that that Luke's gonna have a prominent role, that they're gonna bring him back from the dead, and I'm like, okay, I can forgive the whole movie if that's the case, because Luke was my guy, man. I wanted to see him do something than drink milk from a sea cow, and. But now with Luke saying all these with Mark Hamill saying all these things, it's he's basically they screwed up, the movies suck, it's not what the fans deserve, we could have done better, we could have done this, we could have done that. I think he's mad. Well, I don't blame him, honestly. They call it the Skywalker saga,
right?
What does it have to do with the Skywalkers?
Yeah, there's no Skywalker left. There's
your heart really has to break for the guy. You realize that he's spent his entire life. He spent his entire life loving this saga, right? He spent his entire life being there for the fans, being in the thick of it with us. He was as if not more invested than any of us ever were in this entire thing. And so you have to sort of feel complete in the heartbreak that he's going through. He posts pictures like him hugging Harrison Ford, saying what it could have looked like, what it should have looked like, what we should have gotten as the fans. And you realize we're on the same page, and you recognize, you're right, Junk. He's telling us, hey guys, This is what you're in for not getting. This is what you should have gotten, and I'm sorry. So he's trying so hard to sort of roundabout way warn us what we're going to be getting, and I'm so grateful to him for it. He's a very crafty guy.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate because Mark Hamill is a fan. I mean, he's a fan himself, and he was excited about going to conventions back promoting the first Star Wars movie. And it's kind of sad because his personality kind of reminds me of Luke Skywalker being the most optimistic person in the galaxy, by all means, and he himself had hope, and all he wants to do is just make fans happy and just tell a good story and have fans, be satisfied and united, because Star Wars never before, when we used to have arguments on the prequels, it was never like this. I mean,
no.
Maybe it's because it wasn't in the age of social media, but it also could be the fact that it's just, it didn't seem like George Lucas had malicious intents. He took notes. He scaled back Jar Jar's character. And it was just, I mean, and he never made fun of fans. He never called them names. He didn't say like, "Oh, you're wrong," or you just don't like it because you vote for this political candidate, or you're just an idiot. Like, he didn't say any of that, and that's all we're getting nowadays, and it's coming from everywhere now. That's the new trend.
Well, in one of the articles, and I'm making a video on it, but in one of the articles, Mark Hamill was like, "Well, I signed on for a trilogy, and I'm barely in it."
Yep.
So, and he goes, "What are they gonna do? Fire me? It's all done." Like, and so basically, he's just saying, Episode 9, I'm in it for like a second, because the first one he was in it for a second. This one he was in it as a creepy guy, and then. It just tells me that Episode 9 he has no role, nothing. Not even a flashback scene. It'll probably be Force Ghost, and he'll just say, "Rey, you can do it," and that'll be the end of it. And then you're just like, "What the? Oh my gosh!" You talk about me being angry before; it'll just be worse.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go see it
because I still have a slight chance of hope. Like it's very slim. But still,
I mean, go ahead, Sparky.
Oh, go ahead.
No, after you.
I was just gonna say, even then, that would be adding even more shit to it, because really, he shouldn't have died in the first place. At the very least, not in the way he did. So if he comes back just to do that,
I know that's what I'm saying. I think it's like a kick in the face. Literally, like, just comes back to be a Force Ghost to encourage Rey or whatever. It's just like, oh my god.
None of us showed up for Rey. None of us showed up for Finn. None of us showed up for that garbage. We wanted to see Luke. And trust me, most of the people who are going back to go see Episode 9 are only going because they have this shred of hope that Luke is going to be in it, that Luke is going to play some kind of role.
That's me.
Revkev said, Han Solo, they've ruined everything about him. Yeah, I mean, they kind of backtrack with that. And, I remember, was it Sith Kryptonian that posted the video that it, like, all started with Episode 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but at the same time, that was at a time where it was supposed to be, like, 3 different directors, and there was supposed to be, like, I'm just shocked that there wasn't a vision that they stuck with. And you have to hit these certain points. You can do whatever you want in between, but if you don't hit these certain points, you're out. And that's where Rian Johnson should have been sacked before this catastrophe even started. And it's just really, it's just.
This is the only thing I could think of. We just spent almost $5 billion. You better get out there and make a freaking movie, because we got to start getting this money back. All right, well, let's just do this. Okay, cool. That's the only thing I could think of. They rushed. And I honestly feel that Rian Johnson was just a do-boy for because he's never done a major motion picture like this. He's done movies, he's done TV episodes, but nothing on this scale, and you just kind of throw him in there and you let him write it on top of it. You know, it's like he doesn't just direct it; he's writing it, and like he basically they just said, "Here you go." I just feel like you just don't hear that happening.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't hear that happening on a scale of this magnitude, and it's just like I feel like he was just a hit squad for somebody just saying, "Hey, we need you to push this," and he'll be like, "Yeah, I can take it. Don't worry," and that's that. So, like, if they had given Ryan Johnson, I didn't mean to interrupt. If they had given Ryan Johnson his own trilogy, I'm okay with that because you're new characters, new story, a new way of seeing things. Fine, let's go. You know, like it is what it is. But it, like, oh my gosh, how could you? Anyway,
here's the thing about Ryan Johnson. I don't know. Everybody may not have seen it, but I seen this like interview of Ryan Johnson, and he said that his idea of a good movie is where half the audience walks out of the theater loving it, and the other half walks out hating it. Who the hell would hire a guy like that?
That's what I'm saying. You know? Like, it just something just sounds fishy.
Yeah, they clearly didn't do their research beforehand, and they picked the wrong person. I mean, if he had just directed it, that would have been fine. If JJ penned the script and it's like, okay, there you go, Michael Arndt. I remember him saying, like, and this kind of ties back in what we were talking about earlier with Captain Marvel. Well, kind of. It just reminds me of something that it just escaped me. But anyways, this conversation reminds me of, when he was writing the script, he was just like, well, Luke Skywalker, whenever he appears, he just takes over the scene. Well, that's because he's Luke Skywalker. This is something we've said time and time again. It's pretty obvious, but they wanted to, elevate the new characters. But you don't elevate the new characters by pushing the old characters aside. You have to incorporate them in, take them under the wing. Force Awakens was fine as it is, but you didn't have to, especially with the main problem was The Last Jedi, though. You don't demean, the existing characters to elevate new ones. And that is kind of the problem with Captain Marvel. And that's why I've said a couple of times now that I thought that Nick Fury got Luke Skywalker, not to the same extent, but he got a similar treatment. I mean, what do you all think? And,
no, it's true because, again, Mark Hamill in that interview said, well, when I was doing the scene, Ryan Johnson wanted me to walk right past 3PO and not acknowledge him. And he goes, I need to acknowledge him. Like, I haven't seen him in years, and he was a main part. And so it just proves that they just didn't care. Like, it's just like, how can you miss that detail? How could you miss? Like, I wouldn't miss that detail. You wouldn't miss that detail. Because we know Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? It's like those stupid little details that mean so much to us. Mark was trying to correct during The Last Jedi. And then he says, his quote was, Ryan Johnson said, well, just do whatever. And now you're like saying, yeah, I don't care that you talk to 3PO. Nobody cares about that anymore. Nobody cares. So it's like, just do whatever. We'll throw it in, whatever. And it's just like, my gosh, this is a Star Wars film. It's like, how can you just not care?
They don't. That's just it.
Sorry, I'm gonna shut up.
We've said it before, but this is about an agenda. That was their first priority. Now, I believe that J.J. Abrams is at least not wholeheartedly invested in the agenda. He's certainly willing to pay it lip service, but I like to think that J.J. Abrams is less invested in the agenda. But Kathleen Kennedy herself was very much about the agenda. That's why we got what we got with Ryan Johnson. Okay, it's why we lost Colin Trevorrow. Is that right? That's how you say his last name, Trevorrow?
I think so. Yeah.
Is it Trevorrow or Trevorrow? I never know.
Trevorrow. It doesn't matter.
He's not that better anyway. He kind of messed up the Jurassic World franchise, but that's another story for another day.
But at least it's minus the agenda, right? Like, we felt like he at least wanted to do Luke Skywalker justice.
That's true. He even he even acknowledged that when the Fallen Kingdom wasn't as well received as he had hoped, he said, like I tried, and I understand why people, are upset about this, and he understands, the passion that fans have. He would understand, if I don't exactly know how Ivan Ortega felt about it, but I know he's a big Jurassic Park fan. He loves dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how he felt about the movie, but, it seems like Colin Trevorrow would care about what Ivan Ortega thought, and he would respect his opinions if he didn't like it. He wouldn't say you're a horrible person if you, God forbid, disagreed. But I mean, it just seems like certain franchises seem to, understand what fans want and would respect the mythology, kind of like what Cobra Kai does. Or, and at least with Jurassic World, Colin Trevorrow, while he may not have gotten it right, he didn't outright insult fans. And maybe because he wasn't willing to go with, what Rian Johnson was doing. All he had was two things. Don't kill off Snoke, don't kill off Luke Skywalker. And what did Rian Johnson do? Saying like, who cares? I just want to make my own movie. And he even said, like, on record, it's just like, it's not about what the fans want. It's the movie that we want to make. And, it's just so, it's just so insulting. But we've been over this like 1,000 times. I mean, but it just keeps happening with all the franchises that we love. It seems like, it's just like, what's next? What other franchise are they going to ruin? I mean, are they going to have the Goonies 2 and it's going to be all woke? Like what?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters 3.
No,
No, I'm talking about the future. I'm not talking about what already happened. I'm talking about like what's up. Hey, Force Ghost Jeremy, that's okay. It's all good.
Well,
you're here with us in spirit. But go ahead, 3PO.
Several things on Netflix have been fantastic, and they're like, I don't know what Disney's doing with them, but like, I love the Punisher series, dude. I love the Cobra Kai series. It's perfect. It's perfect, and I don't think they messed up the characters one bit. So I'm like, you're like looking at like the streaming stuff is like they're on point with things, but yeah, the movies.
Voluptuous. Do you want to tell Drunk about Death Note?
I don't know if he's super into anime.
Do we?
Yeah.
I wouldn't bring that up right now. But I mean, if you kept it brief, I mean, does it have to do with what we're talking about?
Oh well, it would have to be about what Netflix is doing with their streaming service and keeping it on point with things, I guess.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's like an example of that. Well, I mean, that's cool.
No, the Death Note movie sucked. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the point that Netflix isn't doing it the right way.
Well, I mean, but to be fair, I mean, it's just like you can't expect them to do everything, perfectly. I mean, it is what it is.
No, that movie was worse than The Last Jedi in terms of being faithful to the source material.
But you know what? The Last Jedi, if they had done Luke the same way, but they had made a good movie, it might have helped. The movie was just bad. Like it wasn't even fun to watch.
40 minutes of Canto Bight is bad.
It's just a bad movie. Like there was the thing that I really hate the most, other than Luke, is they had absolutely no risks, and everybody got saved in the last second. It just was like Finn and Rose go to the casino planet. Oh, the guy they get locked up in the same jail cell as the guy that can hack. Then he breaks out. Why didn't he break out sooner?
No.
Oh man, they ran away on the dogs. Now what are they gonna do? Oh, the guy stole a ship at the last second. Hey, good job. They're about to get their heads cut off last second. Haldo does light speed through the thing. I mean, it's just like that was the whole movie. From the start to finish. From the bombers. Look, the last bomber was about to blow up. Oh, she magically caught the thing falling in space, which was really stupid, by the way. And then she bombs the bomb. I mean, it's just like everything was won by last second. And tell me this reason, and I'm done. I'm gonna shut up. If Finn and Rose could hyperspace out of the freaking escape pod to another planet and be safe, why didn't they just send other people to hyperspace to other planets to be safe? Like what? It's just dumb. You get what I'm saying? Like they could have saved a lot of people.
Yeah, because if they could track one hyperspace route, why don't they just like spread out where they have to figure out which one's which?
Speaking of saving people, it's like oh, we have to free the horses that are going to get recaptured in about 5 minutes. But for the slave kids, we're just going to, give them a thumbs up and hand them a ring. And see you later.
Here's a broom, boy.
Yeah.
Sweep it up.
That is ridiculous. One thing I want to mention: only a month until Baby Force Ghost is due. Oh my God, Force Ghost Jeremy, congratulations on on your soon to be born. I believe it's your daughter. You are a huge part of this community, and I'm glad that that you have graced us with your presence. I'm glad that you and your family are doing so well. This stream, I felt like without you, we miss a little bit of something, but it's okay. We've been able to do pretty well. Soy-based Jeremy, was able to successfully troll me. You got me there, so that's all good. But I think we're about to, wrap it up in just a couple minutes. Is there anything else that either of you would like to say on any of the topics that we discussed?
Just don't go see Captain Marvel, guys. It's doing really well at the box office, which is highly.
I didn't see it, and I have no objections to that.
Yeah.
If you want to know what happens, just ask us.
I have watched reviews from everyone. I haven't got through all of them yet, but holy fuck.
That's one way of saying it.
Even Tyrone Magnus came out like the first 2 minutes of his film. It's like, this movie is bad.
Honestly,
crap,
even if you sort of set aside the issues within the movie in terms of continuity, or even like just the freaking feminazi bull garbage that's in it, like it's just boring. It's just really boring.
Yeah, it's just a bad film.
I think Doomcock broke it down amazingly well. If you've seen his video.
No, mine's better. Just so you know.
Yeah. I've only got one thing to say. So, from what I was reading on 4chan, the end credit scene of her coming back is basically her being away for 20 years trying to relocate people. 20 years?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
It's taken her 20 years to relocate people. That's astounding.
Right. And before we wrap it up here, Spartan Jeremy, I know you didn't really. I'm sorry you didn't get the link. I don't know how you didn't. I sent it like.
I'll send you a screenshot of Discord of what my Discord looks like,
and I'll show you a screenshot of mine, because like this is unacceptable. Maybe it was just my.
I've got 2 Discords open. On one, I've got all 3 links. On the other one, I've only got the final link you sent.
What? That is ludicrous. That's ridiculous.
On this laptop that I'm on, I didn't even get the message at what would be 7:17 for me, saying where you said sent you the Hangout link. I didn't get that at all. I'll send you.
I'm sorry about the confusion. But
it's a conspiracy.
It is absolutely. Article 13 confirmed. No, but at any rate, did you have anything else to say about the topics that we discussed today?
Orange cat, good.
That is a great way to end it.
Nick Fury cut out.
Yeah, he was Luke Skywalker. At any rate, thank you for everybody who's in the chat. Thank you so much, for joining us today. Hashtag Orange Cat Good. Yes, Caitlin, post that on Twitter. And I want to start with Spartan Jeremy. If you have anything, any last remarks, anything to plug, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
If you trust me, it's a bad movie. It's probably going to be a bad movie.
Most likely. And Hallmark Channel, Jeremy, do you have anything to say before we wrap up?
I mean, I cover a variety of things, so I'm But you know, if you just go check me out. But in the future, in the near future, next on Friday the 15th, Immortal. If you know who he is, me and him are going to be going to Emerald City Comic Con. And we're going to try and get a little footage to contribute to the fandom collective about that. And so that's coming up.
Well, I look forward to that. And you just recently passed 100 subs.
Woo-hoo! Yeah. In fact, the stream that we did on Friday night was thanks for that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel any different?
Well, dude, yeah, I'm big time now, dude. Yeah, triple digits.
It only gets better and better for each milestone. And Jeremy Simmons, a.k.a. Prime Geek Collectors. I said it right this time, didn't I?
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm just I'm going to be moving my forum over to Sid 4.0 forum soon. So it's about April when I'm starting to do that. So I'll have to redo a lot of coding. But yeah, I'm going to be start doing YouTube as well, like you guys, with my own channel with Prime Geek Collectors. So most of you have already subscribed to it, which I thank you. So I'll see you there later on.
Yeah, and Caitlin is on point. She is the best moderator in the world. Thank you, Caitlin, the keeper of Jeremy's. You are the best. So voluptuous Jeremy, a.k.a. Mary Vidalis.
Yes.
Is that Spanish, by the way?
A.k.a. Wookie Jeremy.
So to clarify, the Vidalis is going to be changing soon. I'm trying to figure out a way to go about it without confusing the fire out of everyone because I'm getting divorced. So my last name actually begins with B, which is why everyone calls me Mary B. At least my given last name. So, but I'm probably just gonna switch it to Mary Mayhem and call it a day. But yeah, no, I just put out a couple of videos and they're both Captain Marvel related. One is a sort of non-spoiler review / my trip to go see the Captain Marvel movie. And then my second one that I literally just put out yesterday was my spoiler review of Captain Marvel. And of course that movie ticked me off. And I figured, you know what? I'm a woman. Time to do what women, I guess, are the only ones allowed to do now, which is talk crap about Captain Marvel. Because if you're a man, you're not allowed to say anything.
No, that's just your inner misogyny.
I've internalized that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, guys, I've so totally internalized that misogyny. I'm weak. I'm dominated by males. That's why I keep a shotgun in the corner of the room. So no. Yeah, it's just I'm trying to do my best to contribute to the community, and I'm really, really happy to be a part of everything. So the channel's really blown up. I'm almost at about 430 subs right now, and it's been amazing because it's been about 2 months. So
that is incredible. You've had growth that I don't think anybody else has had, like in such a short span of time. So I want to congratulate you on all of that. That is absolutely fantastic. Mary, you are killing it, and keep on doing what you're doing, because what you're doing is, you know, is something that, you know, you're contributing like so much to this community, and we all love you. Thank you so much, and thank you for being a part of this and gracing us with your respect, women. Yes, absolutely. And before we get to our guest of the night, thank you, Jeremy Movie Phone. He says, press 1 for Captain Marvel. Like, do you know the movie you want to see? Press 1 for Captain Marvel. Press 2 for Alita. Everybody, press a 2 in the chat. And Dion St. Michael, hello. Hey, very, very nice for you to drop in. Welcome. But we are about to wrap up, so I'm sorry about that. Dion, a very nice Dion. Mark Graff, he does a lot of great streams. You know, just him in an airplane. You know, which is cool. And we, me and Spartan Jeremy, will come in and we'll talk about. I don't know, what do we talk about? We just talk about whatever in that stream.
Yeah,
like,
we talk about whatever. I mean, funnily enough, I mean, being British, I'm not overly sure about. I've never been to America. So funnily enough, his live streams are basically giving me a tour around America when I go on them.
Really? Interesting.
Dude, we gotta get you over here, man. Gotta get you over here.
Yeah, absolutely. You are welcome here, especially if Article 13 does pass. So
Great,
Yeah.
great. Article 13 here, social justice warriors over there. Nowhere's safe.
no one's
Get your
safe.
migration paperwork ready, okay?
I heard
And
Mexico's beautiful this time of year.
And last but certainly not least, our special guest of the day, one of my fellow senators and somebody that I consider a friend, our drunk hombre.
Close friend, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I didn't know, but now I consider
I
you
gave
a
you
close
permission.
friend.
I gave you permission.
My close personal friend. Drunk 3PO, probably one of the most underrated YouTubers right now, and I'm actually going to. He actually raised money. Black Angus Reviews. If you know him, fat chance that you don't in the chat. But he, at first, you know what, 3PO, I'm going to let you explain that, and I'm going to leave a link to your PayPal account because each of that does that all go to charity?
It all does, yeah.
Yep, and I'm
Yeah,
going
it
to
does.
post a link there for that. 3PO, the floor is yours.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Justin. I'm almost set. Sorry. Thank you, Jeremy.
You already said it, and so who cares?
In all fairness, you kind of doxed yourself when you were doing the Rotten Tomatoes thing earlier. So
Yeah, I don't care.
Big
It's
yeah,
all good.
well,
I doxed myself a long time ago. Whatever.
I'm waiting
you know.
for the man. The day's coming when it's gonna be proper, Justin, and that's gonna be awesome. So
Nobody can mess it up like Anna the Star Wars girl used to.
Oh my God! Like seriously,
Yeah,
she once called me like Jason Scroder. I'm like, what?
Yeah, Scooter. It was Scooter.
Like, I'm like, I understand messing up my last name, but my first name? Come on. Come on. Anyways, but anyways, this isn't about me right now. So 3PO, the floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, just real quick, the story was about a week ago. I posted a video that I wasn't going to watch. I wasn't going to watch Captain Marvel, and it wasn't really a political statement or anything. It's just because I didn't want to spend the money going to the movies because it's expensive. And Angus, my friend Angus, thought it would be funny to raise money to force me to go to the movies because I made a promise. I was like, if someone sends me the money, I'll go see this dumb movie. And so he thought it was going to be funny. And donations started coming in, and he goes, "Hey man, what if you raise a lot more than for the movie? What are you gonna do?" I said, "Man, do you mind if I give the money to the orphanage we're trying to build in El Salvador for those kids? We got $1,000 left that we need to finish the first part, and then we'll start working on the farm in the back. So they'll be able to make their own money." Not the children working, but I mean, workers would be able to work the farm, so they'll always have food and income coming in and not rely on, handouts. So he was like, all right, I'm going to do a live stream and let's see what happens. So we're on this live stream and people just started giving. But people were like, I'll give you $50 if you wear a Captain Marvel t-shirt to the movie, things like that. So like, that's how it turned out. And I'm like, if it's for the kids, I'll look stupid. And yeah, I did it. But at the end of the day, it all came, I think we were close to 250. It might be more because a couple of donations came in a little bit later that I guess that watched the stream on a replay or something like that. And so it was cool. Like you sit back and you think about this community and all the names that we've been called over the years that were toxic, that we're racist, that we're misogynist, that we hate people of diversity, that we hate, and yet they came together to send me money. They don't know me from the other side of the world, but yet they trusted me enough to send me money to go help some children in another country. And it just shows that this is awesome. You never hear of like a Remphamus or any of those other SJW Spider-Man, any of these people like doing anything like that. Their whole purpose in life is to shut people up and things like that. They don't help people, you know. And you look at this community, and it's like we all help each other to grow. All of us, like no one's better than anyone else, no matter how many subs, no matter how many this, no matter how many that, you know. And like my Twitter's very popular, and it's nothing for me to like, you know, certain people when they get so big, they're kind of like, yeah, well, I don't want to like wreck my channel by supporting little channels. This community is not like that, and you never see the other side doing it ever. You never see them promoting anybody's stuff. You never see them adding anyone, you know, smaller and even helping people in their charities or anything like that. Sorry, man, I'm going for a minute, but it just shows you how
go
special.
for it, brother.
It just shows you how special each and every one of you are, and just like we are all different races, different religions, different orientation. I mean, we're all different, but yet we're all on the same page, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And when I think about heaven, that's exactly what I think about. People from all over the world, all different things, and we're all coming together for, you know, because of who we are. And that's who we really are. And the toxic people on the other side, they can't take that away from us. They could take away our Rotten Tomatoes. They could take away our YouTube, but they just can't take that away from us, because that's who we are, and that's who we always will be. And it's beautiful to see. And when people open their eyes and they see that, I mean, listen, I'm a nobody. Listen, I'm a nobody on Twitter. I have 800 followers, whatever. But like when I retweeted, I don't know who it was. Maybe it was the Couch Guys. I like their channel. Man, they sent me like a book of thanks. And I'm like, you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to send me thank you. We all in this thing together. And like, you know, when Jeremy and Ethan and all them, and they push small channels and stuff, it's all the same. And it's amazing. It's amazing to me to see that, because you never see that from the other side. Ever.
Absolutely not. And the most that ever really happens, is what Brie Larson is doing. Like, oh, she's raising she has a GoFundMe for sending girls to Captain Marvel, instead of giving them clothes or giving them, food or anything, which, I thought
giving them prosthetic limbs like Alita did.
Absolutely.
And you know what Marvel could have done? They could have easily set up that movie in poor communities for people to watch it for free. How hard is that? Right. We're going to have a special screening. Here's your personal invite. Just come and watch it. It won't cost you a penny.
Hey, 3PO. After your speech, though, I'm sorry, but I'm like totally picturing you in a kilt and blue face paint. Okay.
No, that's
They may take our Rotten Tomatoes, but they will never take our freedom. Yeah.
It's true.
That was absolutely beautiful, 3PO. That was very touching, and the work that you do, especially in El Salvador, is something that you can't take that away. You can't take away.
But you guys all feel the same way. So I just pretty much said what you guys all feel. So it's all good. I love this community. It was a blessing to find it. Like I said, if The Last Jedi did anything, that's what they did. So
they brought us all together.
They brought us together, and like now they're really in trouble. So if they had given me my Luke movie, there would never be a drunk 3PO, and that's the truth, because I'd just be doing my normal thing and whatever, and that's just how it is. But because I was angry and like scared and nervous, and like, am I the only one that didn't like this film? Like, I need to find others. Others.
And thank goodness I found I would be remiss if I did. I'd be remiss, excuse me, if I did not give a huge shout out to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. And Geeks and Gamers, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is not just Jeremy. They have a website, and there's a whole staff of everybody. Everybody who works, for the website, people who work for the Twitch streaming and do all these different reviews. It's not just Jeremy. It's this whole staff of people. I'm going to give a link to geeksandgamers.com right now. there we go. There's the website. Caitlin, thank you for. Fat chance that anybody hasn't subscribed to Geeks and Gamers.
Right.
I mean, you're in the Council of Jeremys, but
All right, hold on a second. Mary, thank you so much for your donation. You did not have to do that, but I appreciate it.
You don't have to call that out on here, man. That's okay.
That's all right. I felt like it was not. I just got the email. I was like, oh, Bing, look at that. So,
well, lead by example, right?
Exactly.
And there's more to come, my friend. Anyways, thank you to everybody who's still in the chat, who's still with us, even after that whole, all the shenanigans with Article 13. Damn you, soy-based Jeremy, for derailing that conversation.
Derailed.
I'm not listening to you ever again when it comes to breaking news.
All credibility gone.
It's in his name, soy.
I mean, that's completely fine. You're soy-based, and we never listen to you either.
Thank you. Who are you again? Anyways,
I don't know. I change my name so often I don't know anymore.
Guys, I did actually just change my name just so that everyone is aware. I'll throw it up into the chat real quick. So like I said earlier, my name is going to be changing. I figured this is a slow, gradual thing, but that's cool. So I am now Mary Vidalis Mayhem, and then soon it'll just be Mayhem. Okay.
Boom.
Well, if you change it too many times, it might, give you a booyah. All right, Mary Vidalis Mayhem. All right. Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you everybody for everyone who's liked and subscribed to everybody on this panel. And just remember that this isn't just a celebration of geeks and gamers. It's also giving an opportunity for people like, Prime Geek Collectors, Hallmark Channel Jeremy, and Spartan Jeremy. It gives all these Jeremys, this platform, this opportunity to, voice their opinions, even if it is only that time of the month, which I would like to do more often. And if you want to see more, of this, smash the like button. Absolutely. Thank you, Caitlin. And hit the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications. And if you didn't like this video, if you didn't like this stream, go ahead, hit a dislike. My feelings won't be hurt. That's all good. I want to thank you, thank everybody, who's on this panel. Mary V, bringing the mayhem, Spartan Jeremy, Hallmark Channel Jeremy, Prime Geek Collectors. I said it right this time. And especially my good friend, Drunk 3PO, who's just doing so many amazing things and is I see him at 344 subscribers. He's so close to the 1K mark. I'm so happy for you. Thank you, everybody. And good day to you. Good night. Good morning, wherever you are in the world. Just thank you for tuning in. Until next time, I am Proper Jeremy, and I am sorry.